Hey guys, it's Harleywood. Today I'm going to show you this mount up system from IC13 arms. I'll show you the full installation. Let me just give you a close-up of the unit here. But basically, this is a way to lock your AR15 onto a wall surface. The buffer tube fits perfectly in this area here. I'll put all this together. It comes with the unit, comes with two pads that I'll show you go on the inside here. Comes with two screws that go into your wall studs, and these do have one of those security heads on them, so you can't get it off with just a normal Allen wrench or like a Phillips screwdriver. It comes with the two screws here to mount this to the mounting plate and then the mounting plate. Also, coming up shortly, in the next few days most likely, I'll be reviewing this Glock lock from IC13. Very, very awesome little setup. So let's go ahead and start putting this thing together and we'll get it mounted up. Simple. Two set screws in the back. They sit nice and flush, and then we're just going to drive these two screws in through the studs in the wall. Now I'm going to mount this in a temporary location just to show you kind of how this works. I'm not going to show you where this is finally going to live in my home. This is going to be part of my home defense setup, and it's a good way to keep it locked. Not that with enough effort you couldn't, probably rip these out of the studs or something like that, but it'll definitely keep my son from being able to access the firearm, and if anybody's in our house, that we let in and they happen upon it, this is a good way to keep them from being able to access it. Let's go get it mounted up. Alright, so there it is mounted up. And while I was mounting this, I thought of another application for this. Let's say you wanted to use this for something other than an AR-15. As long as the barrel will fit in this groove here, if I put this rested on the floor and lock it in here, there's really no way for them to get it at enough of an angle to get it out. Especially if I were to have mounted this down lower, like around the base of the barrel here, right up against the magazine tube, there would really be no way to get that off the wall. Alright, so I always appreciate when extra attention to detail is shown. And if you'll notice, there's this little tiny screw here. It's a little thumb screw. There's a hole on this side for it, and there's a hole on the top here. So regardless of which way you mount this, you simply set that in there, thread it in, and then the ramped portion of your buffer tube there sits on top of that. And it's a nice soft plastic so that the aluminum housing of this doesn't mar up your buffer tube. And you can see from this angle, when this is all mounted up, these screws in the back here are protected from tampering because the gun, the actual buffer tube, would block anybody from getting a screwdriver or any type of bitted device in here. These screws are about 2.5 to 3 inches long, so even if somebody got a bit, somehow back in there, there wouldn't be enough room for them to thread them all the way back out. So let's talk about compatibility with various systems. This is built to be used with either mil-spec or commercial buffer tubes. Again, it rests right up against the ramp right here. This is an M&P 1522, and you can see it does not have that recessed area right here. This raised ridge area goes all the way to the receiver, so it will not work with this. There's not enough diameter in here for that piece to sit down in there. Also, if you have, let me get another one in here, a CAC buffer tube, like with a pistol brace on it, This is too thick to fit inside of here. The diameter is not right. So if I were to guess, now this just came out, I want to say 2 or 3 months ago, and if I were to guess, a second iteration of this would probably include some sort of adapters that will allow it to mount to various systems. Just my guess, but if I could give them any manufacturing advice, that would definitely be a plus in my opinion. Let's take a look at the locking mechanism. So if I press this down, you can see inside there's a lock bar in there. And what that does is prevents this red hook from engaging, from being able to come down and disengage. If I turn that out of the way, turn it back, there's no way to get this undone. I even tried taking this out to see if that was some way to allow it to, for me to get past it, but it does not. When this is hooked in there and this bar is locked underneath, you cannot get this out. So that's it, guys. The retail price on this unit, as you see it here, is $89. If you start getting into the horizontal setup that has that backer bar or the multiple gun setup, it's going to get a little bit more expensive. I'll post a link in the description below so you can go check it out. Also, as I mentioned, be on the lookout for the review of the Glock lock. Pretty cool little item here. And this also can interface with the multiple gun setup for this. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, please hit that subscribe button below. Lots more videos to come, and we'll see you on the next one.